We think of New York or Tokyo as the ultimate megacities, but 2,500 years ago, there was only one city that mattered, and today, it's just dust. Welcome to Babylon, the undisputed crown jewel of the ancient world. When London and Paris were just muddy swamps, Babylon was a sci fi metropolis. Its defenses were legendary. The city walls were so unbelievably thick, ancient historians claimed you could race four-horse chariots right on top of them. To even enter the city, you had to pass through the Ishtar Gate, a towering fortress made entirely of vibrant blue lapis lazuli and shining gold. But they didn't just have endless wealth, they had the brains. Babylonian astronomers mapped the stars, and their mathematicians basically invented the concept of time. Every king, emperor, and warlord on earth looked at Babylon with pure envy. It was the ultimate prize of the ancient world. But despite its impenetrable walls, infinite wealth, and brilliant minds, the greatest city in human history fell completely overnight, without a single brick being smashed. So how does a superpower just vanish? To find out, we have to look at the greatest PR smear campaign in history. If you ask the ancient Greeks or read the Old Testament, Babylon was a city of pure evil, greed, and arrogance. But why? In 597 BC, King Nebuchadnezzar conquered Jerusalem and forcefully exiled thousands of Jews to Babylon. It was a tragedy for them, but a PR disaster for Babylon. The exiled scholars wrote down their history, painting their captors as the ultimate villains. They created the legendary archetype of the Whore of Babylon, a symbol of ultimate decadence and moral collapse. The Greeks joined the hate train too. They were jealous of Babylon's wealth, so Greek historians lied, claiming Babylonians were soft, weak, and obsessed with luxury. They even spun the magnificent ziggurat of Babylon, a massive ancient skyscraper, into the arrogant Tower of Babel that God had to destroy. Babylon didn't just lose the war, they lost the narrative. They became the historical punching bag for the writers who survived them. But the biggest lie of all? The legendary Hanging Gardens of Babylon, one of the seven wonders of the ancient world. Here is the shocking truth. Archaeologists have dug up all of Babylon. They found palaces and walls, but they found zero evidence of any gardens. Why? Because Greek historians who wrote about it had never actually been there. They wrote it centuries later and mixed up their geography. The real Hanging Gardens probably existed, but they were 300 miles north in the Assyrian capital of Nineveh. They weren't built by a romantic Babylonian king for his homesick wife. They were built by the ruthless Assyrian king, Sennacherib. He used brilliant engineering, creating massive bronze water screws to pump water up the mountains, centuries before Archimedes was even born. But because Babylon was the more famous city, history simply gave them the credit, the ultimate stolen glory. But the ultimate insult to Babylon's legacy wasn't just the fake gardens. It was how the city actually fell. In 539 BC, Cyrus the Great of Persia arrived outside those legendary walls. The Babylonians laughed. They had enough food inside to last for years, and the mighty Euphrates River flowed right through the city to give them endless water. But Cyrus didn't attack the walls. He attacked the river. Under the cover of darkness, his engineers dug massive trenches. They diverted the Euphrates. The water level dropping wasn't a drought, it was a countdown. The Persian army simply waded through the knee-deep mud, walked right under the impenetrable walls, and entered the city. The Babylonians were so drunk, they didn't even realize their empire had fallen until Cyrus was sitting on their throne. Not a single brick was smashed. Babylon didn't vanish into the desert. It was stolen, smeared, and buried by history. Want to uncover the truth they didn't teach you? Hit subscribe, and let's provoke the past.